So during the annual review, I was talking about how with the original Red Hood and the Outlaws, I was a little reluctant about the book. And the annual, I enjoyed it, but there's still moments like I didn't spoil it in the last review because I wanted you guys to go check it out. Speaking of, I'm going to spoil it now. So if you don't want the annual that we went over just prior spoiled, pause this review, go read the book, and come back. And you're back. So at the end of the annual, it really, like I said, focuses on Roy and Jason and kind of where they're going in their lives. Roy's trying to seek help for his addiction, and Jason's kind of going solo, trying to find Artemis and Bizarro because they're completely disappeared. And you think that's where the book ends, but then it shows Artemis getting thrown into this alternate dimension. She finds Bizarro, and we see that they're stuck in some random alternate dimension, which I'm sure will be, what do you call it, a plot point later. So I'm just kind of, I don't know. I mean, I've heard mixed reviews, but because I haven't read it, seeing, Red Hood and Roy, the more badasses, and then Artemis, and then it's just, it's weird. Kind of like how some people think that a good snack is peanut butter with bologna and mayonnaise. And if you ask who the hell is about that, my dad used to be about that. So I'm just saying. Anyway, what I like. Anyway, I almost lost the focus. 26. Essentially, you don't really have to have read any of the prior stuff from New 52 all the way up into Rebirth. This starts out fresh and a new direction for the character. So this is, again, issue 26, and it says, America, 2 a.m. somewhere, which is kind of cool. It kind of gives you a nondescript. And we see the bus driver just trying to make conversation with this dude. So I said, Pops, I don't want to be an accountant. I want to see the country. I want to meet all kinds of people. That's my story. What about you, fella? Not much of a talker, eh? I respect that if you stop. You don't have to be rude, son. Up ahead, someone in the road. Holy heck balls, how'd you see that? And so, and it's kind of a cool, yeah, no, I will say, in the sense, basic way to start a story, but at least we're getting the ball rolling. And right off the bat, if you've never read a Red Hood book before, you get the concept of the shadowed heroes, not talkative, very Batman-esque, but still perceptive. She goes, get back on the bus, Special Agent Melissa Mitchell, FBI. I'm ordering you to leave here. It's not safe for you two to get involved. I'm not leaving without you. And so again, we see this cloaked character carry her on the bus. So this is Scott Lobdell writing, Pete Wood's art and cover, Troy Peteri, I believe is how you say it, letters. And let's see, Marvin Gavins is the group editor, and Rob Levin's the editor. And so we do get a little bit of exposition, but it's at least one page to get the idea of the plot point that leaps this into what we're going to look at. Because you guys have just put yourself in jeopardy. What's done is done, Missy. How'd you come to this? So she goes, my partner and I, we were dispatched to pick up a fugitive crime bus. He had other plans. I barely escaped with my life. I witnessed the execution of a federal agent. And so I like that we get 2 little pages of what happened, and then kind of that red, flashback of her fleeing. There's no way they're going to leave me to, what, the blue bacon? And this guy, some of the holy heck balls, and what, the blue bacon? And just weird. But you get that he's sort of like this blue collar everyday Joe. So it works. And so we see the quote unquote Sons of Anarchy characters. People on the bus, listen up. This here ain't nobody's business. Send out the feeb and nobody gets hurt. You got 1 minute before you fry. So like Jason essentially just comes out calm. That gives us 45 seconds of free time. What do you reckon you'll want to do with that time? So like as we get closer to the action, we start to see Jason's face light up. First, I'm going to beat the crap out of your friends. Then I'm going to shove that flare up your butt. That's enough, smart mouth. Kill this punk. And the action is really good. And again, okay, so we got a couple of pages of exposition just to build up the world, where we are, and the stakes. Then, this is what I appreciate. And this is one thing that I will say, even though older comics are great, from Golden Age to Bronze, there are times like when you see heavy battle like this, and everyone's just talking. Like between people, punch, whack, and people going, oh, or gunfire. You're not going to carry a normal conversation in reality. So I like here that there's not really, and Jason's thinking, me, punk. And so what we're getting is internal thoughts while he's beating these guys up. Once upon a time, maybe, but that was before I was a Robin, before I was murdered, before I came back from the dead. And so we see that he's gone a little bit off the Batcave side. I mean, as we went over in the last issue, I need to pick up 25. Speaking of, I don't get out much, guys. I'm kind of a hermit. And that's just life. Anyway, if you do have a copy of issue 25 that you would not mind partying with, appreciate it. Give you money. But anyway, back to the story. Seriousness. Okay. When I say that to say this, look at how Jason takes his flare and just shoves it in this dude's mouth. I mean, we know Batman will break bones, throw people from an X amount of height to scare tactics, cause pain. But a flare right to the mouth, that's some very treacherous stuff, especially when he just pulls out the guns, blam, 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 and we actually see full-on headshots. This is not the Jason Todd running under the code of the Bat family. This is what's leading to the next arc, which is Red Hood Outlaw. And even the bus driver, where was it? Didn't know if I should root for your friend or say a prayer for those fellas. How in God's name? I tried to go to legit. Made friends. That was then. And then when we see the headshots, he goes, this is now. And you feel the angst of how Scott Lobdell is able to write these type of characters. It has the Jason Todd vibe, but it also makes me think of back when he was writing the X-Men, you can see like Marrow, you can see Wolverine, you can see Chamber, you see that attitude that he just knows how to catch. And it just works here for Red Hood. And what I like about Jason here is, even though we see that he's basically gone Frank Castle at this point, and Melissa, I believe was her name, pulls a gun on him, and he takes the mask off of her. The mask has changed, but I recognize you. You tried to assassinate Cobblepot in Gotham. You're kidding me? The Red Hood on my bus? You're under arrest. Put your hands up. I'm serious. I can't just let you walk out of here. I'm only on this bus because a friend and I have been tracking down a drug ring with ties to something called the Underlife. Your predicament indicates I'm on the right track. You need medical attention immediately. We passed a hospital 45 miles back. I can't let you do this, Hood. I'm an officer of the law. And what I love is how he walks away here. How did the law work out for your part? Boom. So we are what? 1, 2, 3. And I'm not counting back and forth. I'm literally just counting pages. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pages. Look at how much exposition. Well, should I say little exposition, but enough to give us the idea of what we are in store for with this new arc. We didn't need 16 pages of meta humor about, oh my God, this coffee is so good. I'm going to wear some Baby Bjorn and have my mocha latte. And if you're wondering where the hell I'm getting that from, go read. And I'm not, again, I've said this before in past reviews. This is me not sliding the writer, but go back and read the first New Mutants book from Krakoa. There's literally like 3, 4 pages, somewhere thereabouts. I could be wrong. Feel free to make fun of me down in the comments, but it's Magic Chamber, a kid version of Chamber. And Danny, and basically all the old school New Mutants, and they're fighting over coffee. It hurts the brain, just to say the least. So anyway, Jason goes on a rampage, and there's not a whole lot of dialogue left in this book. And we see he goes to fight all the different, what do you call it, elements of this mob that Melissa was going after. And what I like here is when he gets to the officer, the dirty officer, in a sense, the way where the crime boss gets into the squad car and he sees a little thing on the steering wheel that says boom. This kind of reminds me of, it seems like Lobdell, to me, is taking beats from Frank Miller's Year One when Bruce uses the explosions to make an impact on the crime element in Gotham. He goes, "You feasted well." And it's just a really nice little homage, in my opinion. Now, I don't want to give away too much more. We see that Melissa seems to play a serious part in the book. And she goes, "Yeah, because the law always works out. Believe me, special agent. Drop dead last thing you need is this outlaw." She's trying to say that she wants to team up with him, but he's saying, "You don't need to be associated with me because I am trouble." And then the book started with 27, goes from Red Hood and the Outlaws officially to Red Hood Outlaw. And I'm thinking, guys, the more that I'm reading this book, I may go back, because right now I'm renting this from my local library, because as I said, different people have told me this was a good read. And I was like, I don't know, man. I read those first few Outlaws, and it wasn't horrible. I enjoyed it, but it was just, I don't know. But this is really tickling my fancy, and to be honest, I want more. And if you guys want more, please, first and foremost, support your local comic shop or wherever it is that get your action figures and comics, and pick up this run, either in the singles, which I'm a junkie for, or the trade if you need space and whatnot, or in this setup, your local library. And if you've enjoyed this, really would appreciate taking a moment to like, share, and subscribe. Helps the channel more than you could possibly know. And if you don't mind hitting that fancy little hood bell, next subscribe. That way as I get typical content, you guys get notified. Come to the channel, and I love talking with you all and hearing your thoughts and feedback down in the comments or the socials, which I'll make sure to leave the links down in the description. So with all that said, hope you all continue to have an absolutely amazing day reading, and happy hunting, everyone.